This video is brought to you by Robinhood, the investment brokers that let you buy stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies all commission free. There's still time to take advantage of this historic 2020 stock market crash, and if you sign up using the link in the description below, you'll instantly receive one free stock without even depositing a single penny. No, this still isn't my real portfolio, but I have added to it a bit, like the stock on your screen. That's Cody. They make like makeup, Revlon, stuff like that. What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got some fantastic duels for you guys to check out, as well as potentially a horrifying look into the future of what the TCG might look like come, well, probably the fall when we start having IRL events again in the TCG, like regionals and the YCS circuit and stuff like that. Anyways, before we jump into these duels, if you guys do enjoy these type of duels and this content, please do me a favor and give that video a big thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video, as well as helps with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps the channel grow. Anyways, we got side frames in the first couple of duels, and you know, I'm a fan of the side frame archetype. It can sometimes be difficult because side frames don't really have a normal summon like at all in the archetype. I mean, they just that's not something that they were blessed with. And also, even if you tried to fill in, you know, these normal summon engines like invoked, that doesn't usually work either, because their monsters require you have no monsters on the field to work. So it's a very difficult deck to kind of navigate with. But Magician Souls, this is something I never thought about. In side frames, obviously your side frame overload is an excellent card to pitch, and luckily he did open with it. You guys know you can use side frame overload in the graveyard to rota for any of your side frame monsters, and this is the one good normal summon side frames have, and this is Cyber's Gadget, because it lets them instantly go into Lambda. But that's pretty much it. It's not a side frame card, but it is searchable from like your Signet mining. So he's gonna go for a little cheeky combo. This cheeky combo involves you going in the Link Disciple, then you get yourself a token from your Cyber's Gadget, and then you can go in the Link Devotee, and usually you can kind of go for some draw plays, and you also get yourself some tokens and whatnot. Now you can do whatever you want with these tokens, but I would highly advise that you always make Lambda, because if you don't, you're probably not going to be playing any Yu-Gi-Oh if you have monsters on the field. And this also allows them to do something else that's kind of spicy. Go into IP Masquerena. Now I've done plays turn one where I've ended with Lambda plus Herald of the Arclight for negation, but I guess like this is pretty good as well. IP Masquerena is a very solid card, allows you to dodge some stuff and get disruption during your opponent's turn, and he's playing against the Eldorado Invoke deck. So yeah, one of the first things you want to do is activate both of those overloads so that you can start getting some negations to your hand. Obviously you got the Lambda on board, and that's going to be, or it's going to allow you to use your side frame. So Alistair, of course we're going to gamma that, but he's also going to go for the side frame alpha as well, which this means that he has circuit on field, and he should be able to drop an 8 and a 7. Probably going to be Zeta and Omega if I was a betting man. So those are going to be the two plays he goes for. Obviously, you just wait for your opponent to activate a card. Then you can Omega a card out of their hand. This is the bread and butter of side frames. Also, you get to activate Lambda's effect. So you get yourself a search during the end phase. You can get whatever you want out of that. Now, his opponent's not done going to try to use them Eldorado cards. Bro, we ain't even about that life. We're going to go ahead and have to deal to you. And this is pretty cheeky what he's going to do, right? So he wants to go for another level 8 with a circuit, letting you synchro summon during your opponent's turn. But I would argue that there isn't another great one for this current position. However, there is one that can get the job done, and that would be Borload Savage Dragon. Usually you wouldn't be able to go for like another Omega because it's limited. However, when you do go for that early combo where you get the Link monsters in the graveyard, Borload Savage Dragon becomes another option. And at that point, you don't really need to like summon any more monsters. You already have enough good stuff. If for some reason you didn't have Links in the graveyard, which you should, but if they got banished somehow, you could of course use IP Masquerena. You could Link summon Masquerena and Lambda, and that would actually get you a Link monster in the graveyard by the time that Borload Savage was looking for a Link monster. So he'd be able to pull back her in the process, and you'd still have your negation. You lose out on your Lambda, but you'd still have like your other two side frame link or the side frame synchro monsters to just try to take your opponent out. Plus you'd have, the third monster, the Borreload Savage. Anyways, second duel is going to be a little more interactive. Well, I mean, as interactive as you get with side frames, where every time you try to play Yu-Gi-Oh, they're just like, no, no, no. I told you, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to get gammed, you're going to get delted, you're going to get baited, and you're going to like it because you're a beta. Anyways, he goes for that same opening. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have side frame circuit. So when they don't have side frame circuit, they can't punish you but so much because they can't go into Omega during your turn. And his opponent opened up with that deadly lightning storm. But would you look at that? He's got himself the Delta. He's going to use circuit as well. So let's see how this actually plays out. Again, won't be able to go for that Omega. He's going to Delta him twice in a row. Get Delted, bro. And guess what? His opponent says, Cap, no problem. I'm actually just going to go for my Numeron OTK. Easy peasy. This guy don't got no more disruptions, no more deltas. This was kind of spicy. I liked. So IP Masquerena, if you don't happen to have, if you don't have circuit and you can't synchro summon with the side frames you're dropping, this is why you make Masquerena. You make Masquerena so that you can use them as link material, and then you can go for the Unchained Abomination, which, I mean, I never even thought to run this in side frames. This is like 200 IQ. He is going to go ahead and activate that Numeron network. Usually this is like, the one card OTK. Your opponent basically gets shreked, but he's got the beta. He's got the last piece of disruption that destroys the attacking monster. Then the Unchained Abomination says, let me get in on this action too. Let me go ahead and destroy another monster. And now he's going to go for Link Karibo. But I believe he's using Called by the Grave. I'm not sure double Called by the Grave was necessary there, but it is what it is. I think he just realized, oh crap, I can't kill this guy now. It was interesting. He is going to lose his field spell in the end phase. I don't know why he didn't go for the Link 2, the one that banishes all the monsters on the field, because I feel like he could have easily taken care of these two monsters. I mean, maybe it lives, maybe it doesn't. Looks like he has a Gamma. He would have gammed it when it came back, but he would have been able to at least get rid of it. Now I feel like he's just kind of boned, and actually when he top decks the Cyberus Gadget, now he is super boned because his opponent, well, he doesn't have enough damage quite to kill him, but he definitely has enough damage to make him sweat a little bit. Let's see what that top deck is going to be. Oh my goodness, he has another copy of Numeron Network. This could be the comeback if he doesn't throw it, and of course he throws it. What are you doing? He had an opportunity to do it twice in a row. I don't know what this guy's doing. Also, he did not use, no. Well, he couldn't use, okay, I get why he didn't use Megaclops's effect, because I think he didn't have any more summons for the turn. So I get why he didn't use Megaclops's effect, but I don't understand why he's not summoning the rank 2 and just banishing the field. It feels like that would have been the play, because his opponent's Gamma is actually not live. Anyways, he's going to go battle phase. Astrum is just going to go ahead and take the attack, and he will attack over the Megaclops, because just because Megaclops is unaffected by, non-XC monsters, doesn't mean that your monster still can't benefit. Very similar to like Boral Sword Dragon. Anyways, let me show you guys some of the plays that I believe you're going to see defining the fall and also probably the winter seasons in Yu-Gi-Oh! I told you guys these Numeron cards are like way too splashable. You saw that in the last duel, but this is why I think that decks like Guru, Eldorado, and Trickstar will start playing these cards as engines, because these decks, they can just take this one card, obviously make the S0, but in addition to that, they still have their core combos. You see, opening with like one Hidden City pretty much gives Guru like a +2, and it gives them all the setup that they need. And now you could be looking at like a board that has like a crazy amount of disruptions, equivalent to maybe what like Pendulums or Adamantipator players have. Like he has his Guru here, which can be disruptive. If you chain Final Battle, you get a Book of Moon effect. You got an Impermanence, you got a Solemn Strike, you got a Subterra Fiendus, and you can't activate any monster effects. Now, luckily, that was a play where he just so happened to open up with Pot of Extravagance. Let's see what happens when he doesn't open up with Extravagance. And obviously the max ceiling of this is going to be when you open with Numeron Network. But even if you like don't, it's just like you're playing a Guru deck. You're still playing, in my opinion, a fairly solid deck. It just feels like in duels where you do open with it, you're probably just going to automatically win. And even if your opponent does have that Impermanence or that Forbidden Chalice, that's when you just use things like the Subterra Fiendus, or you use use the other like negation cards to stop that one card, and then your opponent like really can't play Yugioh. So it just kind of is what it is, and I think that these engine, or this engine in particular, is going to be just as splashable as we saw the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon engine in the OCG. This is what the Guru deck looks like on paper, and I mean, get used to this, guys. You're gonna be seeing, you know, Numeron Wall, Numeron Network, and Numeron Calling. This is, well, in this build, it's an 8-card, engine, but it can be honestly as small as 7 cards. I would personally put in a third Pot of Extravagance and just play 1 copy of Numeron Calling. And this is what I predicted. I predicted that these decks that don't use their extra deck, they're just going to fill up the entire extra deck with nothing but cards for the Numeron engine, because who cares? The only thing I guess you'd be losing out on is maybe super polymerization targets, but technically you can side those, although I guess you might end up banishing them with Pot of Extravagance. The point that I'm making is I don't really think that there's a huge downside. Anyways, this is the Psy-Frame deck, and I thought it was pretty spicy, man. Not only is he link summoning with IP Masquerena during the opponent's turn, this guy went further beyond that. He's even playing World Legacy Awakenings, or Awakens. This is the card that lets you do the same thing. It just, you know, it's a trap version of that card. I do like the copies of Magician Souls to get these overloads into the graveyard, also to ditch extra copies of like Signet Mining or Foolish Burial Goods. If you've already used those cards, then obviously like they're not needed at that point. Pitch them to the graveyard, try to draw more of your hand traps. The only thing that's, I guess, unfortunate is if you do happen to draw Apprentice Illusion. Not sure that there's a good way of, I guess you could pitch the Psy-Frame monsters to like get her out of your hand. Yeah, I guess it's not that bad. Anyways, if you guys are interested in either one of the decks, of course, they will be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.